Beginning, a human alone on a broken frontier. My name is Kaylin Ward, frontier engineer for the outer colonies. Most days were quiet, repairing oxygen scrubbers, calibrating energy coils, rebooting systems. Nothing heroic. But quiet days are luxuries out here on Astra 9, a rugged forest moon where human and alien settlements lived in tense coexistence. The moon was home to the Vulpine, a fox-like species known for their speed, sharp instincts, and a fierce dedication to family. Most humans didn't trust them. Most Vulpine didn't trust humans either. But mistrust didn't stop us from working side by side, even if side by side meant several hundred meters apart. I understood their stances. Humans had invaded their moon a decade earlier seeking minerals. The Vulpine fought back. Treaties formed. Peace existed, but tension never died. I wasn't involved in any of that. I just fixed things. But one stormy night changed everything. It happened while I was repairing a remote beacon along the forest's edge. Thunder rolled across the sky, and rain turned the undergrowth slick. My scanner detected a failing power relay buried deeper in the woods, beyond where humans usually ventured. I shouldn't have gone. Every training manual said, never cross into untamed Vulpine territory alone. But the beacon powered comms for both species. Without it, the city dome and nearby Vulpine dens would lose weather shielding. So I went. I pushed through thick foliage, palm light guiding my steps until I heard it. A sharp cry. High-pitched. Panicked. Painful. My chest tightened. I knew that sound. I'd heard Vulpine children before. Their voices were melodic, higher than human kids but filled with emotion. This cry was fear. And desperation. I followed it instantly. When I broke through a cluster of glowing moss trees, I froze. A young Vulpine child was cornered by a massive ratha beast. A six-limbed predator with plated fur and jaws strong enough to snap a steel rod. The child's silver and auburn tail shook violently as it backed up against a tree. The beast lunged. I didn't think. I acted. I charged the creature with nothing but a shock baton and the bad luck of being human-sized. The baton crackled as I slammed it into the beast's flank. It roared, swinging a claw that tore my shoulder open. Pain exploded across my arm, but adrenaline kept me standing. Run! I shouted to the child. But the young Vulpine didn't run. They froze, too terrified to move. The beast lunged again. I rolled, sparks flying as claws shredded the ground where I'd been. I hit the dirt hard, the baton skidding away. Not good. The ratha turned toward me, eyes glowing in the stormlit darkness. And then, a tiny growl. The child stepped between us. No, I yelled. But before the beast could strike, a piercing war cry split the forest. A blur of silver and white shot from the trees. Something slammed into the ratha with enough force to shake the ground. A Vulpine adult, taller than any I'd seen, fur shimmering with bioluminescent streaks, wrestled the beast, claws flashing like blades. In seconds, she drove the predator back, forcing it to retreat into the storm. She breathed heavily, her ears pinned, fangs bared, then spun to the child. Lyra, she cried, pulling them into her arms. I staggered to my feet, clutching my bleeding shoulder. She turned toward me. Her eyes, a brilliant amber, locked onto mine. Not in warning. Not in suspicion. But in shock. You saved my kit, she said softly. Lightning cracked overhead. And the mother's expression changed into something I had only heard rumors about. Recognition. Bonding instinct. A Vulpine choosing a path. And I had no idea how much that would change my life. Middle, the Vulpine mother who wouldn't let me go. Her name was Serala. One of the Vulpine's respected hunt mothers, a guardian matriarch responsible for the safety of multiple dens. I later learned that she had been tracking the Ratha for days. It had been prowling dangerously close to the den cluster. And she blamed herself for her child escaping during the storm. Lyra, the child I saved, couldn't stop staring at me, their big eyes shimmering with curiosity and gratitude. But the mother, Serala, she watched me differently. I walked back toward the human outpost, pain surging through my shoulder, trying not to collapse. Serala followed silently, her child bundled protectively in her arms. "You need treatment," she said. "Yeah," I muttered, breath heavy. "Human medics can handle it." "No." I blinked. "No. You saved my child. My bloodline would have ended. My den would have suffered. My kit would be lost to the forest. A life debt exists now." A cold realization hit me. Vulpine life debts weren't symbolic. They were ancient, sacred, unbreakable. "I don't need anything," I said quickly. "I didn't do it expecting." "That does not matter," she cut in gently. Her eyes softened, predatory by nature, but warm beneath. A mother does not forget the hands that shielded her young. We reached the human border checkpoint, guards aiming rifles the moment they saw her. "Lower your weapons," I barked. They hesitated. No human had ever walked side by side with a Vulpine mother before, especially one of Serala's status. "She's with me," I said. "She's not hostile." Serala looked at the guards with indifference, not threatened, not impressed, simply above such reactions. She followed me into the medical wing, her presence drawing horrified whispers and nervous stares. No one dared approach her. When the medic tried to close the door in her face, she pushed it open with a single finger effortlessly. "He is under my protection," she said. The medic nearly fainted. As they treated my wounds, Serala sat beside the bed, Lyra curled in her lap. The child leaned forward, sniffing me, tail swishing. "You smell like lightning," Lyra whispered. I laughed. "That's new." But Serala didn't laugh. She studied me, measured me, watched me with a gaze that felt ancient, as though she was looking not at my face, but at my intentions, my heart, my soul. When the medics left, she leaned closer. "You risked your life for someone not of your kind," she said. "They were a child," I replied. "That's enough." She breathed out slowly, an exhale that almost sounded like a shiver. "You speak like a guardian. Like a den father." I blinked. "A what?" "A protector of young. A life mate chosen for loyalty and spirit." I choked on my own spit. "Whoa, I didn't mean I'm not." Serala gently touched my uninjured arm, claws retracted so her palm was soft. "I know what you meant," she said. "But Vulpine instinct is older than logic." Her amber eyes glowed faintly, a sign of forming bond interest. "I will not force it," she added. "But I will not ignore it." Then she bowed her head, a gesture I had never seen from a Vulpine toward a human. "You saved my child," she whispered. "So I choose you." The room spun. The lights dimmed. My heartbeat thundered. And nothing in Astra 9 would ever be the same again. The crisis, the child in danger again. Over the next days, Serala remained near the outpost. Not at the edge. Not hidden in the trees. She stayed right beside me. When I repaired machinery, she watched. When humans glared at her, she ignored them. When Lyra played nearby, she kept a protective hand close. Rumors spread. Why is a Vulpine hunt mother following the engineer? Is he her mate? He's insane if he thinks that ends well. I tried to explain it away. She's repaying a life debt, but Vulpine tradition meant more than that. And it wasn't just tradition. We'd begun talking, learning, laughing. Well, I laughed. She made soft chuffing noises. The more we spoke, the more I realized how wrong humans had been about her species. They weren't savage. They weren't primitive. They were spiritual, loyal, deeply emotional, and protective to the point of ferocity. And Sarala, she was more than beautiful, she was magnetic. But trouble wasn't far. One afternoon, while I was recalibrating a weather shield, a distress alarm echoed across the forest. Lyra's voice. Sarala's entire body snapped into hunting mode. They followed her, she snarled. Who? I asked, grabbing my tools. Humans, she growled. Hunters from the mining guild. They think taking a Vulpine child will force our people into negotiations. My heart stopped. We sprinted into the woods, Sarala moving like a ghost, her form flickering between trees. I struggled to keep up as her bioluminescent fur streaked ahead. We reached a clearing where 3 humans had cornered Lyra. One held a shock net. Another aimed a tranquilizer rifle. Sarala stepped forward, and the humans paled. Oh no, one whispered. That's the mother. The wind shifted, and the clearing filled with killing intent. But before Sarala lunged, I stepped between them. Put the weapons down, I said coldly. All of you. Kaylin, move, one man snapped. We're doing this for humanity's protection. That child poses no threat, I said. She's an alien. She's just a kid. They raised their weapons higher. Sarala's claws slid out, glowing blue at the tips. Lyra sobbed behind her. This was going to end in bloodshed unless I did something insane. So I did. I threw myself in front of Lyra, shielding her with my body. You shoot her, I said, you hit me first. The forest fell silent. The men hesitated, then lowered their weapons. Fine, their leader spat. Take the fox brat. But don't act like this changes anything. They fled into the trees. Sarala rushed forward, pulling Lyra into her arms, then she looked at me. Not with gratitude. With awe. You would place yourself between a child and your own kind. Yes, I whispered. She stepped closer, so close I could feel the warmth of her breath. Then the bond is no longer instinct, she said softly. It is truth. Ending, the mother chose him forever. From that day, no one questioned where Sarala stood. Beside me. Always. The Vulpine elders approached her days later, expecting her to sever the life debt. Instead, she declared, I do not owe him anymore. I choose him. It shocked them. It shocked humans even more. But she didn't waver. One evening, under the glowing canopy of Astra 9's twin moons, she met me in the forest clearing where we first saw each other. Lyra played nearby with tiny glowing insects, giggling. Sarala stepped closer to me, her fur shimmering like starlit frost. In our culture, she said, a mother chooses only once in a lifetime. A protector. A partner. A heart bond. She placed a hand over my chest. You saved my child. Then you saved her again. And in doing so, you saved me. My breath hitched. And you, she asked quietly, do you accept a place in my den? I looked at her strength, her loyalty, the fierce love she carried, and the gentle warmth she showed only to me. Yes, I said. I accept. Her eyes glowed bright amber. Lyra ran to us, wrapping her arms around my waist. Den father, she whispered happily. Sarala leaned her forehead against mine, her voice like a soft growl of contentment. Then from this moment, and for all the moons to come, you are ours. In the vast wilderness of Astra 9, a place of danger, beauty, and ancient bonds, a human engineer found a family among the Vulpine. Not because destiny demanded it. Not because survival required it. But because he saved the child. And the mother chose him forever.